Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be a match between Zephyr and Michael. It's going to be a Brave New World replay. Just means these players are either Diamond, Bronze, or Silver for Brave New World. Bronze or Silver are the two lowest leagues. Top left, we have Zephyr. He is a Red Protoss player. And on the bottom right, we have Michael. All right, should be a good one here. So Brave New World is just my every other week examination of what's going on in Bronze and Silver leagues. If you want me to cast your Brave New World replay, send in a Sniper Monkey. He only got 3 last week, so your chances of getting cast are better than ever. Just make sure it's Bronze or Silver, with maybe a little bit of funny stuff and some learning experience. And I don't think we'll have trouble with the learning experience part, because people who are stuck in Bronze or Silver, or who just got there, have a lot of work to do to climb the ladder. So, scouting with the probe. Oh, that is good. Checking out what's going on. Not a proxy Rex. That information is now firmly within Zephyr's head. He can rest easy with that knowledge. Second guessing being taken fairly early here. So one pro tip I do like to say to players when they're in Bronze and Silver is, what you want to do is go to lotv.spawningtool.com. That's with a T as in tank, all right? Spawningtool.com. And what you do with that is you go to the build orders section as a gas deal comes in, interesting from Zephyr. Go to build orders, find your race, and it'll show you a build orders for multiple different matchups, right? So, I'm curious to see what the plan is here for these players. Or, I guess second barracks coming up for Michael. He's dealing with the gas steal, obviously. Oh, I'm thinking about taking the gas, but Zephyr missed. He misclicked and didn't right-click the probes on the assimilator. Where's his camera? It's down here. Come on, look at your gas. Look at your assimilator. Get up there and no. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's on screen. Hey, put someone to work. Excellent. Okay. Good. I mean, all of us can make that mistake sometimes. It's just, it's not great when it happens, but you just deal with it and move on with your life. So it looks like Michael's going for a lot of Marines. And this is a reactor, so even more Marines. Not getting any upgrades for them whatsoever. This could be intriguing. Just kind of a mass unupgraded Marine strategy, which, I don't know, it can kind of work at the lower leagues and maybe at the higher leagues if somebody is really, really good with their micro. It's harder to micro unupgraded Marines. When they have stim, they're faster. It's much easier. Faster things are easier to micro and get away from the enemy and stuff like that. But anyway, I like the expansion from Zephyr. I do. I like it a lot. Michael's just kind of throwing buildings down wherever he feels like it. Now he's taking a second gas. He understands he needs gas to make factory units, which he just started. So he queues up a bajillion Marines. Traditionally, we recommend against queuing up 1,000,000 Marines just because that does take the money from your bank. Makes it so you can't use anything, but you're not using it for anything. Like the Marines that you spent the money on to make these Marines, you're not getting any value out of it. So what I like to see is 2, right? Maybe 2 in queue, maybe 3. Maybe 3 in queue at the most, if you can handle that. Just keep going back to your buildings. Hotkey them by doing a control and like a number. So like people like to put their barracks on 5, right? So control 5. When you have the barracks selected, you can go shift, select, shift click, right? So now I have 2 barracks selected, and then control 5, and then, hey, check that out. Well, I tried to do it. It doesn't actually work in replay, but what it will do is then allow you to go back to your barracks without looking at them and make more stuff on a frequent basis. Ah, pretty nice thing, right? So, Marines are cruising across. Army value is 11-4 right now, which does not bode well for Zephyr. The cannons at the top of the ramp are actually pretty genius, though. I like this from Zephyr. He's like, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. And ooh, there's a Zealot in here, too. Tanking shots to the... Oh, gosh. Yeah, all these Marines are very dead. Actually, he backs him out. Michael, a little bit smarter. A lower level player probably would just not have backed those out at all and lost all of his Marines to those cannons, which do very well against Marines when they're not upgraded, right? They don't have stim. They don't have combat shield. They don't have +1, +2, +3 upgrades. Cannons are very good. Static defense is very good in the early stage of the game, but it kind of gets worse as the game moves along. Although for Protoss, you do have shield batteries that do prolong and extend the life and the usefulness of cannons throughout the rest of the game. So perhaps a couple shield batteries and not be too much in order here for Zephyr. So he's just building right where his natural is supposed to go. He's one base in this thing as hard as he can. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work out for us, though. He's going... Oh, Cloak for Banshees. So every time I cast one of these lower league games, I'm always like, this is something. There is something in this game that is really good at the lower leagues. So everything is pretty good at the professional level, right? There's not any unit that just never gets any use at all, right? We see Cloak Banshees in ZVT all the time, and sometimes in TVP as well against Protoss. But when you have cloaked units, whether they're burrowed lurkers, whether they're cloaked ghosts, whether they're DTs, and again, cloaked banshees here, it's going to be much harder for the other player to deal with it if they're as low league as you are. They're going to have a hard time remembering that they need detection at a certain time to deal with cloaked banshees, for example. They're going to have a hard time knowing, okay, a cannon in the mineral line really does a pretty good job protecting against banshee attacks in said mineral lines, which are important to keep safe because that's where your income is coming from, don't ya know? Don't ya know? So yeah, making a Banshee, I love this from Michael. It wasn't a great opening, but you know what? He's going to be all right. I'd love him to get a second base, but considering his starport is right smack dab where that base would go, I don't know how he's going to do it. He'd have to lift off the starport, maybe even kill this reactor, and then be able to toss down an expansion. Maybe even this Tech Lab would have to die too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. Well, just Mass Stalker here from Zephyr. Oh, and he gets shield batteries like we talked about, Zephyr. Special thanks to Sniper Monkey for screening the replays that I get for Midrank Madness, the Cheese compilation, and for Brave Noob World. He's always very excited to screen them. He always gets them done on time, and I appreciate his thoughtfulness and his just a reliability with this. Sniper Monkey's a really good guy. If you want to leave a note in your submission, just let him know thanks. Or even if you're not submitting anything, just send him an email saying, hey, thanks, Sniper Monkey, for screening these replays. I really enjoy them. His email address is in the description, all right? All right, so third base from Zephyr. Dude, Michael, we need more bases, Michael. You can't one base win the longer the game goes on. You can one base win if it's a shorter game, but the longer the game goes on, the harder it is. Ooh, these Banshees moving out. Oh, they cloak? Ah, Marine Siege Tank is going to do so well against these Stalkers. Oh, do not go up a ramp against a Terran that has fortified said ramp. Pro tip of the day. Whether you're Terran, Protoss, or Zerg, don't do this. If there's a tank and a ton of Marines and like Marauders and stuff up here, or even just Marines, don't come up that ramp. They will have high ground division on you. They'll be able to attack you before you can get even close to them, and you will lose everything. Don't do it. Force them to come out. Engage with them here. Engage with them here, but don't engage with them coming up a ramp, especially not into one of their own bases. This is always a bad idea, and I think Zephyr figured that out pretty quickly. So army values 32 to 18. Oh, look at him being sneaky with the Banshees too. Oh, I love this from Michael. Look at this, man. Is he not even cloaking? He's not even cloaking because he doesn't have to. There's nothing here to stop me. Meanwhile, more Marine versus Stalker action, but my golly, there are more Stalkers here. And yeah, Marines are pretty good against Stalker. Well, they got +1 attack too. Oh, Stim and Combat Shield are actually done for the Terran. When did that come through? I don't know where he got a tech. Well, he made a tech lab on his first barracks. Nice. So these Banshees casually have 9 kills. Trying to get some cannons up. Cloak it. Cloak. You know you have Cloak. There's Cloak. Oh, look at him target firing the cannons too. Oh my gosh, Michael. Michael's good with the Cloak Banshee, man. I like this a lot from him. Worker count is still 34 to 21 in favor of the Protoss, but these guys are doing some serious work here. Another probe goes down. There's no mining going on at Zephyr's main. The Stalkers are coming back for reasons. Oh, look. Oh, Cloak wear off. Okay. Well, it's an 8-kill Banshee. He does get a pylon that was literally powering nothing at all. So, recommendation, don't waste your Banshee attacks on Stalkers. Just don't do it. Just move over to the natural base and start killing those if you're cloaked. And once your cloak is wearing off, you need to get out of there because you're going to die. There's like 5 Stalkers here, man. And there it is. Fare thee well, Banshee pilot. You got a bunch of kills. Well done. Okay, and now, Michael. So here's another pro tip. If you're harassing with a Banshee and doing a lot of damage and forcing Zephyr to really focus on this part of the map, attack at the same time. I know it's hard to do both. I get it. But if you could figure out how to just A-moving this army about 2 minutes earlier when the Banshees were wreaking all this havoc would have been way more effective than this is going to be. Also making... Oh, he's got a medevac. Okay, maybe stim, maybe? Oh, there we go. He does stim up. Wait, no, he doesn't. That's just damage being taken. he's not stimming his Marines. Michael, how do you... Okay, we need to work on stim. If you have stim, you should research stim fast. Like, probably after Combat Shield, maybe before Combat Shield. I don't know, makes a huge difference. Dude, these... Seriously, though, the detection problem is a big one. Hey, we got some observers out. Zephyr figured it out. He figured out his detection problem. Get those probes. No. Pylons are too... There it is. Pylons are too big a target. Get in there, wipe out that mineral line. Yeah, this is better. Oh, yeah, this is great. Where are the stalkers at? Here they are. Oh, they have to go all the way around because of their terrible Sim City. No. Just get the probes. All right. Well, I mean, I guess it didn't matter too much. They were dead soon anyway. Another attack coming in from Michael. He's going to bring some tanks this time. Dude, some more medevacs would be great. Stim would be incredible. Zephyr's floating a bunch of cash. He's got 33 workers, despite losing 15 because he's been constantly producing probes at least fairly well in this game. That is another thing we like to talk about in Brave New World, is always making probes and pylons. Always be making SCVs and supply depots. Always be making drones and overlords, all right? Actually, Zerg's a little bit different. You do kind of need to time your situations when you're droning and when you're making army, but for the other two races, it's a little more simple, all right? I like this positioning from the tanks, using the high ground to their advantage. High ground, always good ground. Listen to Obi-Wan. Don't try it, Anakin. I have the high ground. Ooh, I'm kind of excited for the Obi-Wan Disney Plus show that's coming out later this year. Should be a good one. Oh, the tank's on siege. Now's your time to jump on him. Nope. Okay. He's going to get shot in the face. The Marines need to be in the front. Maybe they need to stim, too. That'd be awesome. They are not stimming. You know, I kind of feel like if Michael was using stim today, he'd be getting a lot more work done with these Marines. But as it stands, he has lost 54 of them, killed 22 stalkers, which is pretty good. He got, that's the thing, he researched stim. He got it. He's gotten stim and combat shield and Banshee cloak, and he's not using stim. Now, traditionally, Zephyr, I would say, if you're trying to beat a Terran player and you don't have any splash damage at all in your army composition, you're probably just going to lose, especially the longer the game goes on. Can you win with some early stalker pressure, especially if it has blink? Yes. But the longer the game goes on, the more you're going to need splash to deal with the big groups of Marines, Marauders, right? Siege tanks. If you can get Storm, that's really good. Colossus are easier to control at this level and maybe harder for the Terran to deal with if you had 3 or, 2 or 3 Colossus. 3 seems to be a really strong number against Terran. I mean, it works for players like Clem. It should work for, well, Trap. It should work for you. I guess when Clem plays Protoss, he also gets the magical 3 Colossus group, right? Banshees hanging out the bottom left side here. Let's see what they're going to do. We're going to learn our lesson about coming up a ramp. I don't know that Zephyr's going to learn his lesson about coming up a ramp. He brought detection this time, so Cloak Banshees won't do as much damage. That's pretty good. There is a Banshee here for that very reason. So, he's got 3 observers. Hot diggity. What is this SCV here for? Is he going to he's taking a base. Ninja expand. He's a ninja taking a second base at 13 minutes because his main base isn't available, obviously. These stalkers are like, is there a base up here? No, what the heck? Oh, he's actually leaving, and then Zephyr's going to blink on in. Oh, look at him use blink like an absolute boss. Yeah, take down that barracks. Oh, no, Michael says, I got to come save this. Honestly, if he stims these Marines, he just wins this battle. I mean, the Banshee's helping a lot here. That's good. Hey, he wins it anyway without stimming. Thanks to the Banshee support. Excellent. Thanks, Banshee. See, that's how good Marines are without stim. Ugh, this is good. This is some really good Brave New World stuff. I'm getting frustrated with it, so it's good. All right, man. So Zephyr believes in the power of stalkers. They can shoot up. They can shoot down. They can blink. What else do you want with these guys? Obviously, you need detection, so you can deal with Banshees, says Zephyr. But otherwise, Mass Stalker is totally fine. If Michael wins this game, because Zephyr went Mass Stalker, I'm going to be a little bummed out. Like, if your opponent's going this heavy on Marines, which he is doing, and doesn't have any medevacs, which he's not doing, Colossus Archons can be really good in this situation. Oh, So you'll notice that Zephyr has a ton of cannons at his main base, but his natural base has got nothing going for it. See, main base, cannoned up. Natural base, not cannoned up. Well, be careful. I mean, using Banshees to kill buildings is not my favorite thing. Alright, so ooh, I like this. Not getting so close that the cannons can hit you. That's great. Trying to warp in his bunch of stalkers to deal with this. And again, he has to go all the way around because he doesn't have a direct way. Oh, no! He's flying into Cannonville! Oh, that airspace. How much is there on this map? Curious Minds has a lot of their airspace. That's perfect. Banshee stays alive. 6 kills. So look, 26 probes have died, but guess who still has more workers? Zephyr does. It's 35 to 26 because Zephyr's making probes. Way more than Michael is. And you know what? Sometimes the player who makes the more workers in a game this low level wins the game because they have more money to make stuff. And having stuff is a good thing. Incredible. Alright, let's see. Zephyr taking his gases at this third base would be nice. Making something other than stalkers would also be fantastic. But I would honestly... Oh my gosh, look at how he's... So where you put your production facilities in your base really matters for both Protoss and Terran. If you can't defend your mineral line with units from your natural without going all the way around the outside and then arriving there, you've done something fairly wrong. Fairly wrong? Fairly horribly wrong. So, I mean, kill this warp gate. And then I think you should be able to slip through here faster. I guess the cannons are going to be better at dealing with that too. But 91 to 34 army supply. Zephyr's just going to be like, look, man, you don't have to have correct army compositions in silver. You just need to make more of your thing than your opponent's things. And you know, I guess so. As long as they can hit them. Right, if you're trying to deal with like 8 battle cruisers your Terran army has, your Terran opponent has, and you've got, you know, 60 lings, yeah, that's not gonna do anything. Dude, you know there are cannons here. Cannons can see through cloak. No, nope, nope, no. He thinks that cloak protects him from cannons. Oh no, Michael. Michael's learning some good lessons today. He's learning some great lessons about how cannons can see through your cloak. Oh no, and all Banshees are dead. Okay, so this should just be a Zephyr A move from here. I mean, the army is just not... It's 14 Marines and a tank and a Banshee for Michael. I know I said going up a ramp is always a terrible idea, but in this situation where you literally have 45 Stalkers with +2/+1 against no armor, no attack upgrade Marines. Again, not a lot of them. 15. And a siege tank. I think you just go. Yeah, Zephyr's just using the time-honored tradition of, I have more stuff than my opponent, I will A-move across the map and destroy them. And that's what we're seeing here. So, yeah, I mean, this should... If Michael had an equal army count to what Zephyr has, Michael would win. But Zephyr just out-macroed the ever-loving everything out of Michael today, and that's gonna be it. And that's your GG. We're done, man. There is... What do we got left? Nothing. Zephyr is your winner. Michael taps out in 18 minutes and 32 seconds. Yeah. So, okay. Making Mass Stalker against Terran and trying to kill them at the 18-minute mark is not generally recommended. But if your opponent only has 15 Marines and a tank, and you have 45 Stalkers, and you have +2/+1 upgrades and Blink for your Stalkers, and your opponent only has Stim, which they never use, and Combat Shield, and no other upgrades for the Marines, you're gonna be fine. It's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs for this to work. I really worry about Zephyr, that he's going to get promoted, and he's going to run into, like, Platinum and Diamond players who are just like, what are you... What? You can't attack me with 65 Stalkers at 18 minutes and win. What are you trying to do? I have, like, just, you know, how much? 147 supply of Marine Marauder. All your Stalkers are just going to die. And they should have been. I do like that Michael eventually realized he needed an expansion. That's good. That's a good realization to have, man. And taking it in a location that Zephyr's probably not going to look is not a bad idea, although this could be a potential 4th base from Zephyr. And then he would scout it without even trying to scout it, which would be bad news, Bears, for sure. So that was fun. That was a fun little PVT. Learned a lot of lessons. Saw Whoa, I had to sneeze there. Saw a Terran who got Stim fairly early and then never used Stim again. Or, for the first time, there is no again. What am I even talking about? Resources lost are fairly close. 10,000 to 8,000 is actually not. I guess Michael won a couple battles. With the unupgraded Marines, the Banshee's doing a ton of work, killing some cannons and pylons and probes and stuff. But yeah, as a Terran, if you kill 26 probes of your opponent and they still have more workers than you at the end of the game, and they kill 2 of your SCVs, you need to hit that S button for SCV more often, dude. Just a recommendation. Hotkey your orbital, same thing. Control, I don't know. Some people like Control 5 for their orbitals and their bunkers on, I don't know, whatever you want. Maybe 1. Maybe you like Control 1 for your orbitals. But either way, hotkey them. Go back to them by pressing 1 and press S. And then you'll make SCVs more frequently. But it's kind of a multitask thing. That's kind of what StarCraft is all about if you want to get promoted. So well done by Zephyr. Does out macro the heck out of his opponent. Sometimes that's what happens. And it's a good time for the person who does the out macroing, but not the person named Michael. All right, GG. So that right there is going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Brave Noob World. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.